Caitlin walk on, because without her, would nobody even be talking about the damn WNBA, let alone watching their game. But think the referees will do a little bit more in trying to make sure the star of this basketball league do not get suspended.
Picture this. You're the hottest rookie in the WNBA, breaking records left and right. Then suddenly, you're left out of a major playoff post. That's exactly what happened to Caitlinclark. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. Caitlinclark stormed into the WNBA like a tornado. She was dropping jaw-dropping numbers, making fans go wild.
Made a strong Indiana Fever and Caitlinclark decision before this playoff. The Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun.
And bringing in viewers like crazy. Everyone was talking about her. It was insane. You'd think the league would be all over her, right? Well, guess what? They weren't. In a shocking move, the WNBA left Clark out of a big playoff post. Can you believe it? Fans lost their minds. They were like, how could you ignore the rookie sensation?
For the whole duration of this season, they've been sending subliminals, letting the world know they really ain't rocking with the WNBA young rookie.
It was chaos. But hold on, because this is just the beginning of Caitlin's wild ride in the WNBA. You won't believe what happened next. Things are about to get even crazier. Things did get crazier.
Caitlin walk on, because without her, would nobody even be talking about the damn WNBA, let alone watching their game.
But not in the way you'd expect. Caitlin thought she was ready for the big leagues, but the WNBA had other plans. How does a rookie sensation suddenly become the most frustrated player on the court? Well, let me tell you, it's not all glitz and glamour when you're the new kid on the block. Caitlinclark stepped onto the WNBA court expecting to dominate, but she quickly learned that pro ball is a whole different game. The physical challenges hit her like a truck. Opponents weren't just playing defense, they were playing rough. Clark found herself getting knocked around, pushed, and shoved.
Basketball? Are you serious? It's stunts like these that is causing a lot of fans to, discredit this league.
It was like everyone had a personal vendetta against her. Can you believe Clark racked up 3 technical fouls in her early games? That's crazy for a rookie. She was getting so frustrated with the way she was being treated on the court. Clark even said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered." And you know what? She wasn't exaggerating. But it wasn't just the players giving Clark a hard time. The refs weren't cutting her any slack either. Her coach, Christy Sides, was fuming about it.
I think she got fouled and missed those 2 free throws, and then, got frustrated with the officiating at times.
But think the referees will do a little bit more in trying to make sure the star of this basketball league do not get suspended.
After a particularly rough game, Sides said, "It's tough to keep getting hammered the way she does and not get rewarded with free throws or foul calls. I mean, when your coach is that fired up, you know it's bad." Now, you might be thinking, okay, but isn't this normal for rookies? Sure, every rookie faces challenges, but Clark's situation sparked some serious debates. People started talking about race and double standards in sports. Aja Wilson, one of the WNBA's biggest stars, didn't hold back. She said, "You can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see." Wilson didn't stop there. She got real about the racial dynamics at play, saying, "It boils my blood when people say it's not about race because it is." That's some heavy stuff, right? It's not just about how Clark's playing, it's about how she's perceived and marketed compared to her black counterparts. The drama didn't end there. Some WNBA veterans seem to have it out for Clark. Diana Taurasi, the legend herself, made some comments that had everyone talking. She basically hinted that all the hype around Clark might not translate so smoothly in the pro arena. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. But here's the thing. Despite all this craziness, Clark kept balling out. She didn't let the physical play, the frustrating calls, or the off-court drama stop her. Nope, she kept putting up numbers and making plays that had fans losing their minds. You know what's wild? All this controversy around Clark started shining a light on some bigger issues in the WNBA. People were talking about how rookies are treated, how race plays a role in sports marketing, and whether the league needs to make some changes. Remember how I said the WNBA might need to make some changes? Well, they just did. And it's not just a little tweak. We're talking about a game-changing decision that's got NBA superstars weighing in. What could be so big that even LeBron James is getting involved? Get this. The WNBA is dropping $50 million on charter flights for teams over the next 2 years. That's huge. And you know what's crazy? A lot of people are saying it's all because of Caitlinclark. She's bringing so much attention to the league that they had to step up their game. But it's not just about fancy planes. This whole situation is shining a light on some big issues in women's basketball. We're talking about how players are treated, who gets the spotlight, and even some tough conversations about race in sports. LeBron James, yeah, the king himself, jumped in to defend Clark. He said, "Don't get it twisted. Caitlinclark is the reason why a lot of great things are going to happen for the WNBA." That's some serious backing from one of the biggest names in basketball.
The WNBA facing major backlash for Caitlinclark's decision before WNBA playoffs. That the WNBA is playing these mind games, and it ain't gonna work, bruh. Caitlinclark fan base is undefeated right now.
And he's not the only one. Charles Barkley, never one to hold back, had some words for WNBA players. He said, "Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters. All the money and visibility she's bringing to the WNBA." Barkley's not sugarcoating it, that's for sure. But here's where it gets complicated. Some people are saying there's a double standard in how Clark is treated compared to her black teammates. It's stirring up a lot of debate about race and fairness in sports. Aja Wilson, remember her from earlier. She's been vocal about how race plays a role in who gets attention and opportunities in the league. And it's not just about Clark. Her situation is making people talk about bigger issues in women's basketball. How do we make sure all players are treated fairly? How do we deal with race and gender in sports? These are tough questions, but they're important ones. Now, you might think all this drama would be bad for the WNBA, but here's the thing. It's actually pushing the league to make some positive changes. They're having to address issues they've been avoiding for years. It's like Clark's presence is forcing them to level up. Sure, there's been some tension. Some veteran players feel like they're being overshadowed by all the hype around Clark. But at the end of the day, her success is bringing more eyes to the league.
Caitlinclark WNBA ratings is mind-blowing. For ESPN, the FIBA versus Sky, she had 2.3 million.
More viewers mean more money, and that's good for everyone. The WNBA is growing, and growing pains are part of the process. Clark's journey is highlighting areas where the league needs to improve. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. And the best part? It's leading to real changes that will benefit all the players, not just the rookies. With the spotlight burning bright, most rookies would crack under pressure. But Clark, she's not just surviving, she's thriving. What's her secret weapon against the backlash? It's simple, her game. Caitlinclark is letting her performance do the talking. And boy, is it saying a lot. Despite all the drama and controversy, she's been putting up numbers that are turning heads. We're talking about 16.9 points per game, folks. That's good enough to rank her 16th in the entire league. For a rookie, that's insane. But it's not just about the stats. It's how Clark is handling herself on the court. She's facing some serious physical play from opponents. We're talking getting knocked around, pushed, and shoved. It's like she's got a target on her back. But you know what? Clark isn't backing down. She's not complaining. She's not making excuses. She's just playing her game. And her resilience, it's catching people's attention. Even the king himself, LeBron James, is taking notice. He came out swinging in Clark's defense saying, "If you don't rock with Caitlinclark's game, you're just a flat-out hater." That's some serious backup from one of the greatest players ever. LeBron didn't stop there. He pointed out how Clark is driving viewership and making positive changes in the WNBA. It's like she's not just playing the game, she's changing it. Now, you might think all this praise would go to Clark's head. But nope, she's staying focused. She's not getting caught up in the hype or the hate. She's just doing what she does best, balling out. And you know what's wild? Her approach is winning over some unexpected fans. Players who might have been skeptical at first are starting to respect her game. It's like they're seeing past all the noise and recognizing real talent when they see it. But let's be real for a second. It hasn't all been smooth sailing. Clark's rise has sparked some tough conversations about race and double standards in sports. Aja Wilson, another WNBA superstar, didn't hold back. She said Clark's whiteness has played a part in her marketability. Wilson pointed out, "You can be top-notch at what you are as a black woman, but they don't see it as marketable." These are big, complex issues. And you know what? Clark's presence in the league is forcing people to talk about them. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. And through it all, Clark is staying above the fray. She's not getting pulled into Twitter wars or media battles. She's just playing basketball. And here's the thing, her approach is working. The support from fans and fellow athletes keeps growing. People are starting to see past the hype and recognize Clark's genuine talent and the impact she's having on the sport. It's like Clark's success is a rising tide lifting all boats.
You know, that did for you kind of coming up and watching Michael Jordan and being a fan of basketball and just, you know, now taking over that mantle is like
each other accountable because we know the sacrifice that it takes, the accountability that it takes for us to get that. And it's crazy just talking with other people that have won.
Her popularity is bringing more eyes to the WNBA. More viewers mean more attention, more sponsorships, and ultimately, more opportunities for all players in the league. But perhaps the most impressive thing about Clark, she's not just changing perceptions about herself, she's changing perceptions about the entire WNBA. People who might not have given women's basketball a second look are tuning in. They're seeing the skill, the passion, and the competitiveness of the league. Caitlinclark's journey from controversial rookie to game changer is nothing short of incredible. She's faced challenges head-on and come out swinging. Now, she's not just a star player, she's inspiring a whole new generation of basketball fans and players. You know what's wild? Clark's story is bigger than just one player. It's about changing the game itself. She's got kids dreaming of playing in the WNBA, fans tuning in who never watched before, and even the biggest names in basketball talking about her. So here's the deal. When you watch a WNBA game now, you're not just seeing some amazing basketball. You're watching history unfold right before your eyes. Clark didn't just change the game, she's changing the whole conversation about women's sports. That's some next-level stuff right there.